Hello, everyday leaders. We are live. We are streaming across YouTube and all the Facebook pages and groups today. The Everyday Leaders 50 and 50 podcast, as well as the Everyday Leaders coaching page. And you can find us on YouTube, Melanie Ake, YouTube with Everyday Leaders. So today we are so excited. We haven't been streaming live a lot lately. We've been live in person doing so many things. And so today I am honoring my really great friend, brother from another mother, Chip Baker, and celebrating the success because we just did an event called Come Alive in 2025, and it was Live to Lead and a special rendition.
Mhm.
Chip, you came up and did a keynote for us for the Youth Leadership Awards, and you always knock it out of the park, but this one really hit home. People that didn't know you, people that just were introduced to the magic of Chip Baker. So I just wanted to say thank you for investing in the community.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you for believing in me over years and supporting me over years. And I'm truly grateful. And it's my honor to strive to do everything I can to go above and beyond to support you because I believe in what you do and how you do what you do because you make a huge difference. And so I'm truly grateful that the big man has allowed us to cross paths.
It's been awesome.
It has.
You came in 2020 when
Hmm.
we did our Change Your World 2
Yep.
weeks before the world shut
The
down.
world was shut down. Yeah. The world was changed.
It was changed. It absolutely was. But we kept going, right? Because what we believe in
Yeah.
our heart is it starts with us. It's not about our environment. It really starts with who we are and how we can make a difference in the world.
Hmm.
And so I am honored today to celebrate you, Chip, because you've taken on this series over the last years and had this impact of influence series that you designed. And I've been in several of these, and I just love
Yes.
that you kept going. And today we're celebrating the authors from volume 10. 10.
10 volumes. And this is the last volume of the series. And so I'm so excited because it's, living and leaving a legacy, and legacy is huge. Sometimes we think about, leaving the legacy, right? That's the common thing that everyone thinks about, when I'm gone, what I'm going to pass down. But really, uh, we should strive to live a legacy by our day-to-day actions.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. And you are the catalyst for that in so many ways. You've touched so many
Thank you.
people's hearts. You've published 23 books, is it now?
Correct. Hmm.
23 books. So you are, John Maxwell has been around as a leadership guru for over 50 years and he has 90 some. So you're on your way.
That's what that's
You're on
awesome.
your way.
I like that. That's good, man. It gives me some inspiration. I
You're
got some
on
work
your
to
way,
do.
my friend. All right. Well, without further ado, I know we have these authors that are
Yes.
part of the Volume 10 series. And
Yes.
so we wanted to bring them on today, get you, a little bit more familiar with some of the people that are following us to help and elevate their stories and show how they are living their legacies. So I'm going to just pop them on here and we will start these introductions, and so
Yeah.
excited to have each and every one of them come to the stage here. Great friends, great stories, great impact. Welcome,
Yeah.
everybody.
We might want to warn them, Mel. It's some powerful people here. We might want to warn the audience. It's about to get hot.
There is, there is some powerful people. And I'm telling you, if you are watching this and you have a comment, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, I can see your comments. So please, if you have any questions as we go, please just put those in the comments here, and we will get those to everybody that is talking and introducing themselves. So Chip, I'm going to let you take it away. I appreciate all of you on the Everyday Leaders platform because my heart is with you and I celebrate you. I love your stories. Super excited to be a part of this journey as well. Chip, take it away.
Well, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I just again, I just want to say, Melanie, thank you so much for the continued and ongoing support. And in our lives, when you have people that are heck yes people, you know what I mean. right? When you have people in your life, because people don't have to say yes, right? And then you can have people that say yes to support you, but then there's an elite level that are heck yes people, right? Like they don't, like if you ask for help, they don't give you an opportunity to finish asking them. They don't even need to know it. Heck yes, let's go. I got you. And so you're of that caliber, Melanie. And so and every one of the authors are of that caliber in my life. And I'm just truly grateful that the big man has allowed me to be or allowed me to have those people in my life that have supported me. They have shown me so many great things that I've learned from, and it's my honor to be on with you, Melanie, on your platform. But then it's my honor also to highlight these amazing, powerful influencers because they all are people of huge hearts. And Melanie, you are one of the authors as well, so I want to make sure I say that too. Like people may say, "Was Melanie's platform?" But no, she's one of the co-authors as well.
Yeah.
So
What
what I
an
like to
honor, right? When Chip calls you and says, "I have this idea," and you do say, "Heck yes." You say, "Yeah."
yeah,
Well, when can I get it done? And then you
yeah,
try to manage it, right? I have a challenge with that. However, you are leaving a legacy every time you say
yeah,
yes and you step forward
for
and you take
sure.
that action. So, everybody on this call, I love with my whole
Yeah,
heart because I see you.
yep, yep. And saying yes sets you up for success. Oh, uh-oh, we start. Oh, here we go. Saying yes sets you up for success in your life. And what I want to do is we'll just go around the horn and I'll call each author out, give an opportunity to say, a little bit about who they are, where they are, and then a little bit about their chapter. And so, ladies first. So we'll start with Jessica J Lo Perez.
Hello, hello, everyone. Oh man, you're absolutely right. Everyone that said say yes, it is about just a yes, right? That first decision, right? It's the first decision that we make to say, you know what, I can do this. It's exactly how
Yeah.
this chapter, this volume 10 happened for me. Busy. How many of us are super busy? Sometimes a no is an easier thing to say, and I'm like, no, not this one. This is going to be a yes, a big fat yes. So I want to thank you for having me, Mel. Of course, thank you, and Chip, of course. But you know, this chapter was super personal for me. My mom read it. I gave it to her, and I'm like, she's my proofreader. She's the best proofreader in the world. So if anybody needs a proofreader, Maggie Perez, I'll give her a shout out. But she read it and she goes, "This is your best writing yet." And I was like, that's a huge compliment. My mom reads a ton of books. You talked about that year of COVID. My mama read 365 books that year. In one year that the world shut down that first year. And I was like, wow. So she is well read and well accomplished. And when she tells me that, I said, well, you know why? Because you're in it.
Yeah.
Because listen, that's where legacy started for me, right? Legacy started with my parents, my mom and my dad, who came from strong family, like family's it. Everything is family, family first. And they instilled that in me from the time I was, I can't say little because I'm 4'11", but younger. They've instilled that. And it is exactly what Chip said. It's living and breathing legacy every day. And when I say yes to projects, and when I say yes to having things in my space, and when I say yes to working environments, and however I'm creating my income environments, it's going to be because I want to leave a legacy within those spaces, right? And it's really about that for me. So this was like, it was I don't want to say easy, but it was super personal and simple, and it just flowed, and I was like, this feels good. It's like putting on a good pair of pants in the morning. I was like, oh, I love these jeans, right? It just felt right. And I believe that that's what this book has been for all of us. Just it felt good to write this, knowing that we're a part of volume 10, knowing it's coming to completion. And like the number 10, come on now, that's an incredible number when you think about it, right? Long-term infinity and all the things. So I just want to say thank you for that. Last thing about me, I am exactly what it sounds like. I'm a doer. I love to do. I love to be a catalyst and a coach, just like Mel and Chip. We coach people up. And that's what I'm doing these days, coaching people in their health. I'm coaching people in their mindsets. I'm just loving what I'm doing. And it's all about making a difference and leaving a legacy. So, Chip, thank you so much for the platform. Thank you so much for the opportunity. You can find me lots of places, but best place is just reach out. J-Lo is out there, right? Facebook, Instagram, make it happen. LinkedIn. That's where Chip and I met. I don't know, feels like forever ago. But
Yeah.
so I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share and be present with each one of you today. So back to you.
Awesome. Well, I know that this is in going with the form of the ladies first. I know this is Melanie's platform, but we want to make sure we highlight her too. So Melanie, our next author that we will highlight is Melanie Ake. And Melanie, if you don't mind, tell us, what they know about you, but tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and your chapter, and what, how the experience has been for you.
Yeah. Well, first of all, being in volumes 3 and 5 and 7 and now 10, like you just kept deciding what the clarity was. Like, what do you want to share? And so I feel like some of it is the same, the foundation of where you come from.
Mhm.
But what we're doing, what you've helped to do, Chip, is to catalyze the vision.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I look at the things that have happened since I said yes, and the action steps, and then the clarity of all the people in the community that I get mentored from and that I look to. And you're absolutely one of those people, but the communities that you've created
Mm-hmm.
have helped me to also build that clarity. And so I think, from doing scholarships for youth to opening my nonprofit to all the things that I talked about in volume 7, what were happening. And now it's even bigger, right? Because it's just been a few months, right? Maybe a year or so. And then you go, yeah, but what action happened after that? And so that's why I love following. When you build a legacy, it's just that one step, it's that building block and who you put in your life to make that happen. And so that's really what the story is following that stream of where's the foundation and what action do you have to take to really build the foundation, the legacy, the people, the processes to help you know that, you're impacting community, you're impacting hearts, you're changing people. And that's what I'm all about. And so if we can do that and we do it ourselves and then we inspire other people to take that action and then things like this happen, right? Everybody on this call is family to me. It's not like, oh, I was in this collaboration book. I follow you, I pray for you, I get excited when I see your success. And so that's what legacy is to me. And being a part of this was so important because, as we follow each other, we say, how can I be involved? Chip, fly up from Texas to Indiana and help us put on this event that I see in my heart because I know who you are, right? I know whose you are, I know who you are, and I know what you believe in making impact. And so that's kind of where I'm going. And so I invite everybody that believes that, get on the journey. Like let's do more together. Let's collaborate together. Let's make a bigger impact in the world. So that's where I'm going to leave that. And the rest
Awesome.
is an unwritten page, right?
I love it.
It
I
is to be
love it.
told.
Yes. And I second that too. It definitely is like a family. It is a family. Just having each other's back, supporting one another. Um, like when we intro the podcast, I was saying like, I've learned so much from each of these authors, and I meant that. Like I wasn't just saying that. Like, we all have intimate convos. We're all blessed to be around each other, often. And so, and I just think that um, multiplication is better than addition, right? We all can add value individually, but when we all bring our values together, the value multiplies. And that's what it's been, in the Impact and Influence series in volume 10 is the research and the evidence of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so we'll go to our next author. Our next author that we're going to highlight is Adrian P. Jackson.
Man, thank you so much for being able to say yes. Most recently, to being on this podcast with Melanie and the rest of the authors. So there's always some amazing things that happen when you see Chip Baker. There's always some amazing things, you know. My name's Adrian Jackson. I am vice president at a large residential child care facility just north of Amarillo. My wife and I have been employed here for 28 years. We started off as house parents and promoted all the way into leadership. And, you know, I met Chip back in May. Well, actually before that, but Chip invited me to be a part of volume 8, and it was on leadership. And I had been struggling with writing my own book, and actually Chip said, hey, this process may help you focus and be able to write your own book. And he was 100% right. And actually my motivation has been sky high of getting my own body of work completed since then. But I'm not a natural writer. There's a lot of things I do well, and a natural writer is not in that category, you know? And it was a tough project for me because Chip only had 7 days, right? But I had the opportunity to say thank you to some amazing people that has made me the man I am today in that volume. And I have continued that at each request to be a part of volume 9 and now volume 10. I had the opportunity to continue to tell people thank you. So because of that, I want to be able to tell Chip, thank you for allowing me to do that, because those pages will never be erased. It will never. Nothing will ever be able to take away. And I got to tell the world publicly how much I love my wife. Yep. You know, that's an anniversary gift that just keeps giving. Every year I'm just going to hand her that book and say, look what I was able to do. Everybody knows, right?
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, right. When we talked about and legacy. So we get to volume 10. You know, I just live. I don't live I didn't live for people to remember me. I live to carry on the things my parents showed me and their expectations. I lived in a way that the people that gave me gold nuggets of knowledge to pass on. And in that quest of living that way, you leave a legacy.
Yep.
And so my chapter was about that, but I did continue on in volume 10 as involving my family, right? And so in my chapter, there's quotes from my wife, my 2 daughters, my son, and my 2 grandchildren. So you know, I wanted to involve them because they are very part of it. They want to know what I'm writing about. They want to know. And so I said, hey, tell me what leaving a legacy mean to you. And so my grandkids, 3 and 4 years old, 4 and 5 years old, they just said the first thing that came to their mind. One, my grandson said, look at my mustache with a milk mustache, you know? And my granddaughter said, I don't know, you know? And that's really authentic. But my son, his quote, he's 17 years old. And my children, actually, all 3 of my children, they put a lot of effort into their quote. And my son's quote was something on the lines of, he has not left his legacy yet, and he is searching for something to be known for. And what that gives me is an opportunity to help him do that. And so my chapter is based on not only focusing on the things that I've learned in the legacy, but also for the organization I work for. The founder, the legacy that he left and the 85 years history of Cal Farley's and what that meant to thousands of at-risk youth. And also the work by the direct care staff, really hard job taking care of 8 to 10 adolescent or pre-adolescent kids. That's not your blood, and that's your life. So I did in this chapter, I pay homage to that. And also, so the communities that I'm involved in, the organization I work for, the Jackson family, and the bird dog community, because, I started doing that at 30 years when we didn't make much money, and being a professional bird dog trainer helped us eat a little bit better, helped us drive a little better car. It also exposed me to some super amazing people. And without those three communities, that's why I'm here today, right? And actually, if you look how all those kind of came together, it's summarized with this other community that I'm now involved in, the Impact of Influence authors 1 through 10, and that huge group of amazing people that's super positive, because Chip don't want no negative around him, right? What's your blood type?
Be positive.
Right. So
I like that one. That's good.
I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I have, since being a part of it, there's been, since I met Chip actually virtually, first off, is that this energy that is generated to just just be a positive person for others and create opportunities for others, be a guiding light for others. So you guys have been a guiding light for me, and I deeply appreciate it. So that's the summary of my chapter. My wife really likes it. She did say out of 3, that was the best. I like really, really raw stuff. So, volume 9, when I was just don't know what I'm doing and just putting stuff down and trying to make it make sense, but I enjoy everybody's chapters, really inspirational. And this is what the Impact of Influence series is about: being inspirational, being seeing people that are walking the walk that you're walking now, have walked, and hopefully for young people that they will walk. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I have. So I appreciate everything. Thank you,
yes,
Warren,
sir.
Chip, and Melanie, and all the inspiration that comes from the rest of our authors. So thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Our next author that we're going to highlight is Darius Bradley Sr.
Hey, man. Blessings. Blessings, family. Man, y'all know me. I can't start off without first giving thanks and praise to our Heavenly Father. Man, just for blessing us all this morning with his gift of life, and we're still breathing, eyes are still open, heart's still beating. So that means we're still becoming, we're still alive. And so first and foremost, man, it's so good and so great to see my sisters, my brothers, man, Sis Mel, Sis J-Lo, Brother Chip, Brother Adrian, Brother Royce, Brother Marquise, man. I love you guys so very much. I want to start off by saying, man, my gratitude and my agape love for Brother Chip and everyone on this platform goes well beyond verbal expression, man. Chip has truly, just like everyone, my sisters and my brother Adrian has expressed already, I'll echo and piggyback that. He's just such a golden inspiration organically. And he's not a selfish person at all. And I love that about you, man. And as we're talking about living and leaving a legacy, you're doing it right now. And as everyone expressed, you're also enabling us an opportunity to do the same on our individual walk, on our individual path. We're able to come together at this intersection and collectively do some awesome things, and beyond that, do some godly things. And so I'm just truly grateful to be a part of it all, man. So I had to get that off the heart and start like that. But now my name is Darius Bradley Sr. I'm also known as Divine Encourager. I'm an encourager speaker, and I'm a multiple best-selling author. Give a lot of that credit to my brother Chip Baker for blessing me along this journey to be able to do so. I've been in several of the Impact of Influence books, and I'm truly grateful and proud to be a part of the last but not least edition, which is volume 10, which will truly go on to echo, leave footprints, fingerprints all over this globe, and just so happy to be a part of it. Living and leaving a legacy to me, you know, in this chapter, I titled my in this book, this volume, I titled my chapter, No Matter What, right? And so my dad, he transitioned when I was 15 years old. My father was only 41. And my father would tell me all kinds of things when I was just a young boy that I didn't understand at the time. But I grew into the understanding of it all, right? And so this chapter was really personal for me as well as all of the ones that were before this chapter. All of them are organically personal and transparent. All of our pages, all of our chapters. Right. And so my father told me when I was around the age of 9, 10, 11 to 12, somewhere up in there, he said, when you become a man and you have your own family, you take care of your wife and your children no matter what. Now, I'm still playing with my G.I. Joes. I'm still playing with my Hot Wheels. I'm not even thinking about a family, right? But my dad was living his legacy right there. And I didn't know that. For it to be left behind, for me to then pick up on and grow into these things that he was sharing with me, right? Didn't know that 15, was going to be my last time with him. And so when I did become that man, and I did have that wife, and I do now, 28 years, and we have 3 phenomenal kids. My daughter's on life support, and my dad was the one of the best fathers in the world, one of the best husbands in the world. And I learned all of those things from seeing and from hearing what I can remember from him. But he didn't have a child that was on life support. His trials and tribulations didn't look like the ones that I was going through and still am going through right now, but growing through, like Brother Chip and I like to express, grow through what you go through. And so when my father said that to me, when you become a man, you take care of your wife and your kids no matter what, I was like, oh, wow. No, my dad did not have a child that was on life support. His trials and tribulations were different, but he did teach me how to press beyond this test when he said, no matter what. See, right then and there, my father was telling me, be unconditional when it comes down to your wife and your children, and you take care of them no matter what. And so that no matter what piece has enabled and provoked me and catapulted me, and continue to do so, to continue pressing through whatever the test may be, because that will enable us to stretch and get to the answered prayers that our Heavenly Father has placed before us, not on the side of us, not behind us. He intends for us to grow and to continue growing. And so we have to press towards, we have to press forward. So living and leaving a legacy, the living part gives us an opportunity to not only leave behind fingerprints, footprints, and echoes of our findings and teachings, it's enabling us to illustrate it in real time. I'm showing my boys, when you fall down, recover quickly. I'm showing my wife that if it's hard, I'm going to carry her across this thing no matter what. I'm showing my daughter, not only is that life support machine enabling you, but the gift that God, the life that God, and all that God has placed within me is also enabling daddy to be your resuscitation, your breathing apparatus. In real time, I'm showing you this legacy that I'm living. I'm showing you a snippet of what I'm going to leave behind. I'm giving you the tools, okay, that you may not have in your box, in your toolbox, but the ones that are in your toolbox in real time. That is living this legacy. I'm going to help you identify the names of these tools, the functionalities of these tools. And yes, you can with these tools, because our Heavenly Father has said to us, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So it's more than just a fancy book with a phenomenal title. It's real individuals going through real life situations and deciding that no matter what, I will fly, but I'll crawl before I do that. I will run, but I'll crawl before I do that. I will walk, but I'll crawl before I do that. No matter what it is, no matter where I am, no matter how I do it, I will transport myself the way that our Heavenly Father has predestined, has prepared, and has promised, not only just whispered in my ear, but placed it in my heart, living and leaving a legacy, son, living and leaving a legacy, daughter. No matter what you call the chapter, you are the chapter. No matter what the words are in the book, listen, daughter, listen, son, you are the living word. And if you're going to have an impact of influence on my children, then you're going to have to go through some trials and tribulations. But most importantly, you're going to have to grow through it all. And so this book is a resource and a promise and a breathing apparatus that's not about the articulation, but indeed about the resuscitation for those who are reading, for those who are trying to get past whatever it is that's in front of them. No form shall prosper. Okay, no weapon formed against any of us and shall prosper. And that's not just something that I'm saying, but that's a promise from the Most High that I'm relaying. And so living and leaving a legacy is much more than what the title reads, but it's every illustration, every footstep, every heartbeat, and every breath that each author has taken within the pages of this book, that we're now leaving as we're living those fingerprints, footsteps, and echoes of our everyday life.
Man, we warned them, Mel. We warned them before we got on. We warned them.
Every day,
good.
every day,
So
every
good.
day, every day, man.
So
Love you
good.
guys.
So good. All right. Our next author that we will highlight is Marquise Sneed.
So I thought I had my other laptop. I was getting ready to touch it. It's not touch screen. But oh man, thank you, Bake, man, for allowing me to be a part of, man, everything that you do, man. It's always a great honor. Thank you, Miss Melanie, for allowing us to be on your platform. Just a little bit about myself, Marquise Sneed. I've been knowing Bake since I was 14 years old, and he's seen me from a teenager grow, and so been in education for, this is coming up on my 10th year. And so I love what I do. I love inspiring kids and trying to challenge them academically to push past their limits and ultimately go after the things that they want in life. Because I had people that poured into my life, since I was a child, as long as I can remember, Bake being one of those fellas. And so for me, man, my chapter was all about paying homage to my grandfather, who is a stubborn, driven man, and stubborn in a good way. What I mean by stubborn is when he wants something, he goes and he gets it. Like he is an amazing individual, the greatest man I've ever known in my life, and I'm truly grateful that that God has placed solid men in my life. I didn't grow up with my father. I met my father when I was 18. And so, but when I look back over my life, there's been men who have stepped in and have provided a solid example, a pathway for me to take, or for me to try to implement and be an example of. So I'm always truly grateful for those people. And so Bake included, gotta pay homage. But once again, my chapter is about my grandfather, and like I was saying, stubborn, driven, He's born in 1945, and he actually dropped out of high school, no, junior high, excuse me. And so when he was younger, he was, sometimes when kids were running and play around, he was out in the field working. And so at 18 actually, excuse me, he joined the Navy, and then he joined the Navy in the 70s. And after the Navy, he actually comes back to Conroe, Texas, which is where I'm from. And he starts getting involved in some entrepreneurial outlets and formulate his own businesses. And we kind of have this saying in our family. We think, Papa's a millionaire, he just won't tell us. So but he's been truly successful his whole life. And the love and devotion and affection that he's shared, that he's given to my family has been one that I'm truly grateful for. He's a person that older people, they always know a little bit about everything, and he's one of those people. So I'm always I enjoy being around him, just to be able to get some knowledge, some wisdom, some understanding on things that I may not know. And it's consistent. Every time we have a conversation, I'm like, man, how you know about that? Or I didn't know that. So it's always enjoyable. But one thing that I'm proud of that when it comes to his ability to have long-term vision with his investments, with his business ideas, with his plans. But I'm also appreciative, since I was a child, man, I've always seen this man willingly give out in abundance to people. Like, it's common in my town, in my neighborhood, for me to grow while I was growing up, and even to this day, you always have people walk up to him, they say, "Hey, Mr. Leroy, can I?" And it was always asking him of his time, his energy, sometimes his finances. And I never seen him. I seen him say yes more than he said no. And if he did say no, if he did say yes, he never griped about it. He was always willing to assist people in any way, in any form or fashion that he could. And so that's probably what I'm most grateful for. Not only how he's given out of the abundance of his heart to other people, but also how he's been an avid leader within my family, and how he's pretty much made a mark with how we should live, how we should conduct ourselves, how we should invest, not just in long-term vision and financially, but also how we should invest in people. And so when it comes to the person that I am today, I try to implement those qualities. I try to be someone that he will be proud of. And so what I wanted to do with my chapter was to pay homage to him. And I look forward to my siblings, my other extended family, my nieces, my nephews, to look at this, to read this chapter and be like, hey man, that Leroy Sneed that lived in Conroe, Texas, between 1945 or whenever, his time ends on this earth, like, man, this was a solid man. This is a great individual, that provided value wherever he was. And so, man, for me, it's an honor to come from his lineage, to be someone who is his grandson. I'm proud of that. I'm proud to know him simply. And I'm proud of I'm happy about the conversations that we have. I'm honored every time I'm around him. It's a breath of fresh air, man. It's warm, it's inviting, it's hilarious, it's knowledge, and it's always a motivator to continue to push. He's an example of, you keep working with your head down, and by the time you look up, man, you've come a long way. And so I'm grateful for the person that he is. I know he's yet to read the chapter, but I can't wait for him to read it. And just to, if I could say anything to him, I've said a lot of words to him. I know that he knows that I love him. I know that he knows that the family appreciates him, but kind of like how you guys were saying, but these are words that will be cemented forever, and so he can always go back. You know, if he's ever having a bad day or something like that, he can always go back and look at that chapter and be reminded that, hey man, we appreciate you, we love you, we're grateful for you, and you keep doing what you're doing, you know, and thank you for being who you are. So that's pretty much about what my chapter is, and I'm grateful once again to always be a part of anything that Baker's doing. It's always solid. It's good to be around good people. Like I said, he's been an inspiration for me since I was a teenager. And so he still is to this day. So, man, I just want to say I'm thankful for you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
And you keep doing what you've been doing.
Appreciate you. I got to tell this funny about Marquise Buki. Before we go on, I was telling somebody about this yesterday. It tickled me. I had an opportunity to meet with one of my guys that, you know, I'm close with him, you know, like we all do. We have great conversations with great people that we all learn from, right? And before you know it, it's 30 minutes, it's an hour, it's an hour and a half, and it seemed like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And so you know, later in my coaching career, you know, I was at a school, and Marquise was at, you know, the Conroe High where he went to school, and I coached him, and we both coached track, and so we would be at track meets, and we would just hang and have good conversation all day. And finally, man, one day, like I saw him with his phone, and like he looking at me, right? He got his phone. He's like, man, I guess I'm gonna go and tell you, man, when we get to hang out, man, I'll be trying to hit record on the slide.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that was like back in maybe 17, something like that. Yeah, I'm always trying to. Man, when you around people, it's always, you know, people that you can take nuggets from. You know what I'm saying? They just have it's something about them, it's something within them that you just kind of want to hold on to everything that they say.
Yeah.
So I'm always in tune with that. I'm always trying to capture that at any moment. So there's been times when I'm with Bacon, he'll say something, I'm trying to repeat it and like trying to take my phone out, type it in or something like that. But like at that moment, I had to, you know, try to hit record on them and try to get some words of wisdom, man, that I can sit back on and reflect over, you know, later on.
Man.
Yeah, I definitely do that.
That's so good. I had to share that funny because it's so good. But I think it shows a couple of things. It's a blessing to be able to do that. You know, I never took for granted the opportunities that we have for those things to come back around, because I've had people in my life to do that for me. And I know how valuable that is. But even so, like, and what he may not even know is like, yeah, I was striving to pour out for him, but he was pouring into me as well, right? And so, man, it was just a great situation, and it really was the highlight of my time when we would get to go hang and be at track meets all day together and just hang out and talk life, you know. So that was a blessing. Appreciate you for that, Boot.
Always be ready, babe. I'm gonna continue pressing record on you.
I love it, man. Well, our last author that we're gonna highlight is Coach Royce Slechta.
Hey, good morning. I'm coming to you guys from Kemp, Texas this morning. I'm at a powerlifting meet. If you know much about powerlifting, I'm thankful that I'm in my car this morning. I'm trying to get that aroma out of my nose right now, and it's helping a little bit being out here in the car for the podcast. I'm the athletic director and head football coach at Rice ISD. This is Impact of Influence volume number 4 for me to get the opportunity to participate in. I have been in education. This is currently, when this year finishes, it will be the finish of year 30. And so blessed beyond belief to be a part of this deal. 30 years ago, it happened with that guy that's at the top of your screen. That was my first coaching opportunity and experience was at West Texas A&M when Chip Baker was putting on his shoulder pads and buckling up his chin strap. So, that might date me a little bit. I don't know. But it's been such a blessing. Chip, uh, we were able to connect years ago, and man, it's just been. I'm so excited to be a part of this. Uh, all of these projects. It's been such a blessing for me. I can't even begin to tell you guys. My chapter, is about the people in my life that have poured into me, that have left that legacy in me, and I think first and foremost, um, my dad, had a huge influence on me growing up. He taught me the sport of golf. He taught me the sport of baseball. And so he created that interest early on in me in sport. And I think that uh, no secret that it took me a little while to figure that out. It took falling asleep in a couple of accounting classes in college for me to realize that coaching was what I needed to be doing. But he certainly poured into me. I've had plenty of coaches along the way that have done the same. Plenty of leaders, of today's leaders, and John Maxwell, and I'm a part of the Maxwell leadership team, and the connections that I've made through that are phenomenal. And I stepped in, to ask Mel about that a few years back, and she said 100% get after it. So it has been such a blessing for me to be a part of that as well. I would say this, that when it comes to living that legacy, it's a daily for me. There aren't a lot of guys that are 30 years in the business that are taking on a job in year 30 of being an athletic director and a head football coach. Most of those guys are winding it down, and they're trying to see, how fast they can get on the golf course, whatever. And so, this opportunity for me, um, has come at the right time. I would say that, when we used to go, to coaching clinics early on in my career, um, a coach a long time ago shared with me, if there's one thing that you can take away from the clinic, then the clinic's been worth your experience, right? That it's been worthwhile going to the clinic, and I on the daily, I try to live that. What can I do on the daily that a coach on our staff, a student athlete in our program, a faculty member, what can I give them on the daily that they can take with them? And if I can do that, then I feel like that's what living a legacy is all about, right? There's a great quote by Mark Batterson. I've read so many of his works. He is a minister at a church in D.C. And I know many of you guys have read some of his works, but this is a quote from him. It says, "At the end of the day, our life, our biggest regret, it won't be the mistakes that we've made. It'll be the opportunities left on the table. The blessings that we failed to flip. But we have all been blessed with so many opportunities to leave a legacy, to make an impact, to influence the people that we come into contact with. And we'll never know, and we'll never be able to capture um, how much of that legacy, that we're able to leave, beyond our years, and so we'll never know that, but I know that, That's what I strive for daily. What can I do, with the opportunities, given to me, and so, um, this has been a challenge, taking on this job in Rice. Our kids are 80% poverty and below. So this is it's not a job for the faint of heart. But when and I've experienced a lot of success in the sport of football specifically. I serve as our athletic director, and also head football coach. And so this last football season, we had some success. First week of the season, scored more points in week one than they scored the entire year previously. So it was a great opening to the first game, right? And then I looked up at the clock when I was walking to the locker room in week two at halftime, and we were down 62 at the half. And so I walked in the locker room and I thought, "Whoo, man, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to come up with something here, right?" But I do think that it's allowed me to share with our kids, that the adversity that they have gone through, not just in life, but or the adversity they were going through at that time on the football field, that that pales in comparison to the adversity that they're going to experience later on. And if they can understand that, if they can understand that this is not the worst thing that's ever going to happen to them, and so if they can through that gain that experience and know that, hey, I can stand tall knowing that I can get through this, and as a result I feel like that's really helped our kids, and I'm so excited to continue to serve in this role. Like I said, you guys are amazing people, every single one of you, and really blessed, to be a part. You can reach me social media. I probably spend more time on, because I'm old, so I probably spend more time on Facebook than anything else. You can catch me at Roy Selecta on Facebook. I have an Instagram account that's really just to keep up with my daughter. Uh, so I don't check it out very often, but we also do have a Rice athletics Facebook page as well, so you guys can catch me there. But man, just so awesome, so thankful to be a part. Appreciate the opportunity to share with you guys this morning. Melanie, I appreciate all that you do, and Chip, I can't even step into telling you, how much I appreciate all that you do.
Right back at you.
Yep.
Well,
Servant's heart.
yeah,
Coach,
that's our authors. I'd like to throw that back at you, Melanie.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. Can I interject real quick?
Absolutely.
Jump in there, boo.
Coach Selected, you've been at Rice for 30 years?
No. I got to Rice last February.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Okay.
after 29 years in the business, and it came at a price. I had spent a lot of time interviewing for head coaching jobs and beat myself up. What am I doing wrong? What's going on? And I think he was, definitely controlling and pulling the strings there. I think he knew the timing better than I knew the timing, for sure. And every single day, it's I know that's that this is a job that he has planned for me for 29 years. So pretty good stuff.
Okay,
It's
congratulations.
crazy too,
Man, thank you.
just the journey. He's done some amazing things at some different schools, like trend setting offenses. He coached his last school. He coached Emmitt Smith's son,
Okay.
EJ. So man, just have done some amazing things, um, like in the state in coaching. And so I second to what he was saying. Like all of the things that he's been blessed to achieve and do so far has really set him up for what that community needs now, and he's able to give that to them in such a major way.
Absolutely. I asked because I played with a guy from Rice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Reagan Henderson at Sam Houston State. He
Okay, nice.
still up there. So yeah, that's why I asked. But hey,
That's
congrats on the gig.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Man, may God bless each and every one of you. You have amazing stories, and this is only the start. Like, it's not the end of the series, right? Not the end, it's the beginning of what's next. And not only Chip's vision, but like, what are you going to do, right? So Chip's been this catalyst. So I want to encourage all of you. I know, you've got big things happening. So get connected, collaborate, like make that impact in the world, that next level. Like, this is the start. So many things that are going to happen for you. So Chip, I thank you for having the vision, for having the heart to serve, for bringing the people together that just love, right? They just love, and that's where it all starts. And so I just I can't let you guys go before we do our 1, 2, 3, go get it. Because that's how we can serve Chip, right? And Darius, let's go, man. All right. So on the count of 3.
There we go.
Here we go. Ready?
1, 2, 3. Go
Go
get
get
it.
it.
Let's go.
Let's
Thank
go.
you so much, Mel.
Oh, you're welcome. You guys follow the Success Chronicles. Go back in the chat here and follow all of these amazing authors. Connect to us. You can connect to me at everydayleaders.com if you have not already done so. And join us on the journey. This is amazing. You can join, be an author, tell your story, share your heart on some of our podcasts, some of the things that we're doing in our states. And we really want to serve you. So from all of us here at The Impact of Influence, Volume 10, have an awesome life and go get it.
Go get it.
Go get it. Thanks, guys.